What's up, everyone? Mulligan here, and it's been a while since I've done one of these. Real quick, I do hope everyone in the States is enjoying their 4th of July and got to spend time with their loved ones. But yeah, I've got a channel update for you guys. It's funny because I did a channel update on the 4th of July last year, too. Maybe I should make this an annual thing. Anyway, this channel update has been a long time coming, and I've got a lot of ground to cover. I'm going to be covering all the games I've played and uploaded content for on this channel update, so I will have gameplay from each respective game in the background, though you don't have to watch the video. But I would suggest grabbing something to drink or snack on if you plan to listen to this whole thing, because it might get pretty long. I first want to say thank you to Roberto Blake for inspiring me to do the 90-day challenge. For those that don't know, the 90-day challenge is one where every day you are creating something. And I wanted to apply that challenge to this YouTube channel. Now, of course, people are going to wonder, well, you didn't upload a video every single day. And no, I didn't. But I did spend some time every day doing something for this channel, whether it was making a thumbnail, editing video, or even just writing down an idea for the channel. I was doing something. June got pretty tough for me, especially these last 2 weeks, but I got through it, and I'm so glad that I did. I also want to shout out the Black Hokage for actually telling me about Roberto Blake, because I had never heard about Roberto prior to TBH's Black History Month video back in February. Roberto is kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to the creative and marketing communities here on YouTube. He does a lot of different things on his channel. Graphic design tutorials, a ton of content on growing your YouTube channel and just your personal brand in general, the occasional tech review, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing other types of videos as well. Lots of how-to videos as well. TBH does a lot of gaming content in general, funny highlights, gaming reviews. He hosts the Gaming Illuminati podcast, where he and the other guys on the squad talk about the things going on in the gaming industry. And the GI also have their own channel too, and they have all types of content, gaming, anime, weekly radio shows, sports podcasts, and they recently got done covering E3 live for their 3rd year in a row, I believe. If they or any one of their followers sees this, I'll get corrected in the comments. I think it's been 3 years now. But yeah, not everyone is going to like these guys, but I personally really appreciate what they do in the YouTube space and just in their respective industries in general. For anyone that wants to check out everyone that I mentioned, I will have links to their channels somewhere, either in the video itself or in the description box below. But let's jump into it. First up is Eternal. So more thank yous are in order, actually, so I greatly apologize. But first off, I want to thank all of you guys who have subscribed to me for my Eternal content and stuck with me for the past 3 months. Your feedback and positivity really mean a lot to me. It means a lot to any content creator. I started this channel in 2014, and in the first 3 years after getting people to come over from my old channel, I didn't gain a single subscriber. Now that is mainly because most of the content I was putting up was, in hindsight, pretty trash. But we will get to that later. In that same 3 years, I got to about 10,000 views. I finally decided to jump into uploading content for Eternal after taking a 2-month hiatus at the end of December last year. And in 3 months, I'm at around 200 subscribers. Tiny in the grand scheme of things, but still a lot better than the first 3 years of this channel. And I'm approaching the 20,000 view mark. So thank you guys. It's all because of you, and I want to keep going. So that's why I want you guys to know that you have me. For the foreseeable future, I will be uploading content for Eternal exclusively. However, there are two things I also want to mention. One, that does not mean that I'm quitting on the other games I have played and uploaded videos for on this channel. Two, for this month, at some point there is going to be a drop off in content overall. There's some real life stuff that I have tried to juggle with YouTube, and it's gotten to the point where I'm going to have to sit down and put my full effort towards that stuff for at least a week or two. It will likely be starting this week as well. There won't be an upload this Thursday at all, and I will have something Friday, but it will probably be some live gameplay from the ranked ladder. I plan to continue to review the spoilers from the upcoming Omens of the Past set though, so still look forward to those coming out on Monday, unless something changes. If it does, I will tweet it out, so follow me on Twitter if you like. For those of you who only watch my Eternal content, you can leave now. But for those who have been rocking with me before I even started playing Eternal, or for those that are just curious, stick around. I want to say some things regarding what could happen with the other games I've played and continue to play. In particular, I will be touching on what would most likely be uploaded in the future and what is least likely. Although, also the days that I normally upload will not be changing for the time being. If I put out videos, they will still be on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, even during this time when the content will be less frequent. So next up is Pokemon. So the last time I uploaded any Pokemon content on this channel was December of last year. I said at the end of that video that I wanted to bring new Pokemon content to the channel, and my mindset hasn't changed. I was basically doing the same thing with Pokemon that I was doing with Overwatch. Uploading old games I played that I thought were at least decent. In the case of Pokemon, it was battles that I had back in 2013 and 2014. Though with Pokemon, it wasn't quite as bad because I would at least post-narrate them as best that I could. I will say this, if I'm going to upload any other content from other games in the future, Pokemon is the most likely to happen first. I don't want to go into detail, but there are quite a few ideas I have for what type of Pokemon content I want to upload. The blueprint is there. It's just not quite fully fleshed out. The bigger thing for me is that I do not want to just upload Pokemon just because. And the same goes for any content I put up on YouTube. There has to be enough of a desire and a mindset for me to do it. And all the Poketubers that I still watch from time to time still have a love for the game, even after all these years. You know who you are. I want that same spark, and although my desire to start uploading Pokemon stuff again is growing bit by bit, I feel like it's still not quite there yet. So, Overwatch. For those that don't know, I uploaded a video that was kind of a thank you letter to Blizzard for making Overwatch, where I shared my personal history with the FPS genre. I also announced in the same video that I would no longer be uploading Overwatch content for pretty much the same reasons I talked about regarding Pokemon. I feel like my Overwatch content, while there are some great highlights, was pretty awful overall. It was literally just live gameplay with very little commentary, but I did it because I liked the game and it was incredibly easy to upload. But like I said in that video, and what I kind of alluded to when I talked about Pokemon a few minutes ago, I want my content to have purpose. Even if it's going to be something that's quote unquote light, like a showdown live in the example of Pokemon. For Overwatch, I feel like I do have to tackle it a bit differently from Pokemon just because the community is different. Most people that are known are either really good at the game, and some professional players aren't even popular, by the way, or they bring some type of structured educational content on how to get better at Overwatch in general or with specific characters, or they're the anomaly and people just love their personality, whether it's via funny highlights or whatever. and even a bunch of them are playing close to the top level. So basically, they're bringing something significant to the table, not just some random gameplay from a ranked game or even quick play. I have 1 or 2 ideas for Overwatch content I would do, but things are less fleshed out when compared to the blueprint I have for Pokemon. Okay, so Battleborn. Every time I think about this game now, I feel like I'm just reading a sad story. I'm starting to think Blizzard has it out for Gearbox, but I won't get into details regarding that since this is a channel update video. And for all I know, everything I've heard and read is just hearsay. Besides, I'm gonna need time to rant about the final game on this list. But the situation just sucks. It's no secret that I love Overwatch, but I am also a believer in competition. And after the 40 plus hours I've put into Battleborn, I can say the game is unique enough to where it could survive in the market. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret in case no one has told you yet. Battleborn is not a first-person shooter. It's a MOBA. Anyway, I feel there's negative connotation about the game from outsiders. It's pretty unlikely I will upload content from this game due to the simple fact that there aren't enough people playing on PC to where I could get a decent game frequently. For those that don't know, Battleborn went free to play fairly recently, and while the number of players did go up initially, I feel like for a game where you need to get 9 other players to queue up for a match, the numbers are not there now. I went back to their subreddit the other day and the topics have gone back to how the game is dying again, having barely over 100 concurrent players on Steam. The queue times will be way too long, especially since other people online could be doing the campaign mode and not PvP. I really want this game to make it, but I guess people would rather play a literal Overwatch ripoff than something that's different. People baffle me sometimes. Though, in the defense of Paladins, it is free to play. But yeah, it's unlikely that I return to Battleborn, though part of me really wants to. There is another video that I kind of want to do regarding the Battleborn situation, but I'm taking a wait and see approach of what happens to the game first, though I have a bad feeling that I won't be waiting too long. Finally, Hearthstone. Oh boy. Okay, so I'll give fair warning. There's a bit of a rant incoming. This will probably be the longest section. I basically left the game back in December, a week after Mean Streets of Gadgetzan came out, and I was one of many. Anyone that's been in the Hearthstone community for the past 6 months knows what was going on back then. If you were paying attention, a lot of other digital card games were starting to steal Hearthstone's thunder a bit. In my opinion, Gadgetzan was the worst metagame in Hearthstone's history. Now, some people will say it was other metagames like the Grim Patron meta from 2015, or that Karazhan was the worst, but honestly, even Karazhan had more variety as far as decks to fit a specific playstyle. And I was also mad that Gadgetzan literally killed off an entire archetype in mid-range, invalidating every class that had a potentially viable mid-range strategy, and forcing you to play either Shaman or Druid if you wanted to do mid-range anything. And Shaman was the class that everybody was hating before Gadgetzan came out. I know people were just sick of mid-range decks in general back then, but you don't completely invalidate an archetype either. It's funny because I had decided previously in my mind that 2017 was going to be the year I was going to go all in as far as competitive Hearthstone was concerned. I'll admit it, I had dreams of BlizzCon. But ever since I found out about Eternal through Brian Kibler, ironically, I've been hooked on that game ever since. I don't even do the weekly tavern brawls anymore, ever since Eternal introduced their event mode, which works very similarly and has better prizes because they're free to play model. eats Hearthstones for breakfast. Yes, since Ungoro came out, I fully admit the Hearthstone metagame is much better now. And they've even implemented things since then to make the free-to-play experience better. But I feel it's too little too late. There is only one thing that I would want to do in Hearthstone, and I'm not even sure I would upload it to the channel, to be honest. But I love to hit rank 1 legend with a specific deck that was near and dear to me. But it is a very, very long shot. Because for one, it's a deck from the old gods meta. And for another, I've been focused on Eternal with the hope of that scene growing instead. There's a lot of competition in Hearthstone, and I feel it's incredibly hard to become a big personality now. Maybe even impossible, unless a few of the already big names start to leave the game. Even then, there are tons of people clamoring for those quote-unquote spots, if you will. I think if anyone wants to pursue Hearthstone, you kind of just have to make content for a specific niche within that community and just take your slice of the pie. Same's true for Overwatch, though to a slightly lesser extent, and I guess basically any Blizzard game at this point. So yeah, I won't leave the possibility of returning to Hearthstone completely out, but it's pretty unlikely that you'll see more content from me. If I did go back, I have 1 or 2 other ideas I could pursue. But yeah, that's it for the channel update. For those that made it to the end, I want to thank you so much for watching or listening, whatever you were doing. If you liked the video, feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to look around my channel as well for those new. I got a lot of different things going on as far as Eternal's concerned. For those of you that like card games, that I certainly do. I've been playing them approximately 10 years now, so I've always kind of been a junkie in that space. But for Eternal, I have a series called Eternal Errors where I showcase the misplays that I make with specific decks, and I open up to discussion what the correct play would actually be in those given situations. So it's a sort of, for all the Magic aficionados, it's kind of a what's not the play, if you will. But I upload other things too. Live games I had on the ladder that were interesting. Live tournament games. A few other things too. But yeah, feel free to look around. Feel free to check out my other content as well, even though I'm not really uploading stuff from other games for the time being anyway. I've got plenty of Overwatch content, and there's a couple gems in there. I can promise you that. But yeah, thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this. And yeah, take care. I'll see you guys later. Peace.